Alright, so today I'm going to try something new. I'm going to start talking about one subject, which in this case is going to be pancakes. And I'm going to, throughout this video, and start talking about pancakes, and finish talking about fishing for bass. Okay, so, pancakes. Why are they called pancakes? I guess because they're kind of cake-esque and they're in a pan, or you usually make them in a pan or on a skillet or one of those other flat things like rectangular. I think a pan actually is also a skillet. I don't know what the difference between those are, but they are very similar. And pancakes, they're good. You can throw pretty much any type of thing you want in them and put almost anything you want on them. Most often I like syrup. Sometimes I put some jelly on them or some jam and some strawberry and stuff. But mostly I'll put syrup and like chocolate chip pancakes, you got blueberry pancakes, you got banana pancakes, you got banana nut pancakes, you got plain pancakes, you got every type of pancake. And they're very, well, they're not the best thing to eat. Well, I guess if you don't have syrup and chocolate chips and all of that kind of stuff on them, then they probably are actually okay for you. Probably. Don't want to say that they definitely are because I do have no idea. But I can say safely that if you put syrup and they have chocolate chips in them, then they are probably not the best thing to be eating. Well, I guess you really shouldn't eat anything a whole lot, but you can probably have pancakes quite often and be okay. So, pancakes are going to, well, they're probably one of the best breakfast foods. I mean, a lot of breakfast foods are like based off of them. You have pancakes, which are basically, well, it's just like batter that's cooked. And then you have waffles, and waffles are just batter that is cooked but has like a little squares in it. And they're usually, well, actually, no, they're squares or circles or whatever shape you really want to make them. I wonder how that happened. Did someone make pancakes in like a skillet that had bumps on it or something, or like a pan that had bumps on it, and that's how they ended up with waffles? Um, so you have waffles, and then there's like, I forget what they're called, but they're like really, really thin pancakes. So I guess probably everything was derived from those things. Crepes, 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 C-R-E, crepes, crepes, something like that is what I'm thinking of. And those are the, probably where everything came from, because those are like really, really thin pancakes. We have really, really thin pancakes, and one person was like, hey, why don't we make really thick pancakes? Well, crepes, whatever they are. Make really, really thick ones of those. And then someone had the idea of, well, let's make it have a design on it, which gives you waffles. And that's probably how people came up with pancakes. And then from pancakes, they ended up with waffles. Why are they called Belgian waffles anyway? Did someone in Belgium come up with Belgian waffles? To look up Wikipedia for that later. I should wear my hat. I like my hat. But, yeah, I think I can pull off a hat. I can pull off the fedora. I hope. That's something I should ask. Do you think I can pull off a fedora? Hope I can. Otherwise, I've been walking around and people have been saying I look good in a fedora, and I actually don't. But either way, Belgium. I was on Belgium. Belgium was taken over by the Nazis, I think, or something like that. Something happened with Belgium in World War II, maybe. No, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of Berlin. Berlin is what was taken over by the Nazis, and then from there they kind of just spread out and took over all of Europe. And in Europe, well, they took over most of Europe. They didn't take over like the UK. They take over France, but then again, France never wins anything really, so they kind of just, yeah. And then they took over Poland, and in like Scandinavia and that whole area. And that's when we started getting, well, we didn't, but like the UK got mad at them. And the UK went over and they crossed the pond. I think that's what they say in England, they crossed the pond. Cross the pond, across the pond, across the pond, except that English, like that section between Europe and England of water is much bigger than a pond. I like ponds. There's a pond outside my window. You can't see it, but I also can't because it's dark out. But either way, there's a pond outside there in that direction. It's kind of dirty though, so you can't really do much there. I've seen people fishing there though. I wonder if they actually catch anything. It's kind of dirty. I don't know if there's any kind of fish are actually in there. I still see people with fishing rods out there every once in a while. Fish a lot. No, not really. But there's like 4 or 5 different people who fish, and those 4 or 5 different people fishing add up to a whole lot more time than just one person fishing. So I guess they are fishing a lot if you were to take one person and have them fish as much as those 5 people were fishing. Although I'm not very good at fishing. Other people are very good at fishing. Like, you watch fishing and it's on TV and these people catch fish like it's, like, basically they cast and they want to fish and they catch it. And they catch a fish. I want to catch a fish and I cast and I don't catch a fish. Ever. I caught a rubber fish. Okay, I'm in the middle of editing this and I just heard the really weird thing that you may have just heard or you may not have even noticed it. But let's listen to it again. Yeah, I have no idea what that was, but I noticed it and I thought I should point it out. Okay, back to the video. Somehow. Don't know how I did that, but I caught a rubber fish. There was a lure or something and my hook managed to catch it. But an actual fish, not very good at that. Those bass fishermen on TV are very good. They catch like 6, 7 fish in like 10 minutes. That's impressive. Although I still wouldn't call it a sport, because it still feels like it's chance. And I can't really say that they're definitely, their ability to throw a cast and then reel a fish in is much of a sport. That's all the movement that they do. They sit on a boat the rest of the day. They could probably sit on the boat and not do much, and I can do that too. The only difference is they get lucky and catch fish. And I think I'm on my subject of fishing for bass, which means that this video is over and I win. So if you like this video, then let me know, and if you didn't, then let me know what I should do in my next video to make it better. And also in comments you can tell me what I should try to compare next. Or just give me one subject and someone else can give me another subject and I'll just pick and choose randomly. Well, that's it. See ya.